curious. I'm putting money on that. I think out of a tank, 300 kilometers.
That's not bad.
Roasting the tires off your truck.
After the first set.
We'll see how you do with your fuel economy.
Good thing we got all these tires hanging out here.
The build on the Demonator continues. We got the 3.6 liter engine out of our Jeep Gladiator Mojave. We got our 840 horsepower supercharged V8 engine into the frame. We're gonna lower the body down, finish up some wiring and plumbing, and then get to the first startup of this crazy Jeep Gladiator build.
So, Monday morning here, what we're getting started on, we are going to make the adjustments to the sector shaft coming out of the steering column. So we're gonna remove this piece with the bushing and everything, and we're gonna add a template, drill a hole, do some adjustments. It's just gonna move it slightly out of the way. We're then gonna remove all of this and start making some modifications. We're gonna eliminate the auxiliary battery, which is great because it causes nothing but problems anyway.
And this is the battery and fuse box area.
Yes, this is the battery and the PDC. We're also gonna remove all the old wiring that was running the hydromatic power steering.
Oh, we don't just leave it in there hanging down?
We would if we were a different shop, but since we're Epic here, we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna cut it all back completely out of the harness, and it's not even gonna exist, because we're trying to save weight here to get more fuel mileage.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Fuel economy, #1 goal with this build.
Hey, you're just trying to not buy diesel. I saw the video. I know you're just hoping for...
Did you see diesel is 10 cents a liter more than 94 octane right now?
Yeah, well, I can tell you the diesel's a lot better in economical range. You thought you got sick of visiting the gas station now. Mini pry bar.
Look at this tiny pry bar. Tiny pry bar.
Yeah. This is what the end of the steering column is riding on.
Oh, I see.
Before it comes out into the engine compartment.
We gotta peel all that out so we can just shift this over like what, half an inch?
Barely. Barely half an inch. So we've got the template here. Always make sure you know what's on the other side before you do that. We moved it slightly over as much as we could.
Just barely. It's like, yeah, about half an inch, hey?
Yeah, about half an inch.
Pretty close
but it's
to
just to give a, like, because everything, once it's in here, everything has a decent amount of space around it. It's not like you fit it with a shoehorn. It's got enough space where it was meant to work.
So that will allow the steering shaft that comes down to the steering box
to just be a little bit more over from where the valve covers are.
Yeah, the giant motor we're stuffing in here.
The giant motor that's going to be like...
Just casually in an engine bay.
This is the best way to work in the engine bay. So much better than leaning over the fenders. Wheel the cart in, have some fun.
Where's the battery fuse box going? Are we relocating this, or is this just to make room?
We're modifying it and adjusting it to make room and to eliminate some things.
So our battery will still stay about in this location?
Your battery's going to be in this exact location.
Yeah, and the fuse block?
It's going to be in that exact location.
Okay.
Oh, they red Loctited those. That makes sense.
Get the bolt buster.
Jeep, you didn't need to red Loctite 10 mil bolts.
Everything.
A lot of people are like, how do you wonder how this all goes back together? Well, unless you're a barbarian, they only go in one spot. We could make them fit in the wrong spot.
That's what would happen if I was putting it back together.
That is a likely cause. But we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say you might figure it out.
Here we go, though.
There's 3 screws in there.
So we're eliminating the start. We're eliminating the start-stop battery as part of this.
It's already out there, never going back in.
We got that over there, and real party going on there.
It's something going on in here.
Why are we pulling the wires apart?
I thought you knew. How else are we gonna plug in the flux capacitor? I gotta.
This isn't just about going fast. It's all about changing what time we're in as well, right?
Really good idea.
We need to go back in time to get cheaper gas.
The Demonator will be so fast, we'll be able to go back in time, fill up, and then return to the present.
Every time. Actually makes the plastic look a little nicer. I'd say it's not going anywhere.
So what have we achieved by all this messing around with the cut?
We have achieved getting some clearance both up and down and side to side for this side of the motor.
Just a little bit more space.
Yep. And you will see. Vital important piece, fuse box.
We've got our wiring done.
We got our wiring at this point done. There's more.
Now, slide the chassis underneath.
And then pull the grenade pin, whole thing falls, and it's done.
Just gotta line it up perfectly, right?
Yeah, just boom, boom, done. Like dropping Lego out of a third-story building.
Got the chassis under the body. Prepared to drop down. We'll get the body lowered down and aligned perfectly to the body bolts. Not scrape the tub up. Got the massive radiator stack sitting here we need to put in. And various other bits and pieces.
These are important. Without these, no vroom vroom. This is the transfer case shifter and the transmission shifter.
Final look before we drop the body on. Our red eye fuel pump.
Anybody want to say some prunes?
All our cooling lines to our rear pump and reservoir for the supercharger. Got part of the exhaust all the way to the Y installed. Our new Rubicon transfer case, because we need to be able to have the removable front nose cone so that we can swap it out to the AMW adapter. To our Trackhawk transmission, 8-speed, and our 840 horsepower supercharged V8 Demon motor up front.
Everything look okay to you, Casey?
I mean,
You know, from all the previous ones you've done.
based on my experience,
Based on your experience, this is where it goes. All right.
this is looking good.
Okay, you need to be in the front area. He's going to make sure the bed doesn't hit the body.
Here we go, body back on.
No, it's just on top of it.
Hold on.
We're a bit over this side, the cap is this my side. It should be a bit top.
Okay, so the back end's got to kick to you a bit?
Yeah, it's a little bit crooked as well. Hey man, what are you doing?
I am currently hooking up the to-go shifters.
How fast are we gonna
Ah,
Speed limit.
the hardest part of the build so far.
Pretty much.
Getting the body back on the frame.
go?
That's alright.
That's gonna be a tight fit in that engine bay though. Holy.
All right, what are we doing? Okay, probably pretty good. You want me to lower it while you're just hanging there? Can't go anymore without moving the Jeep backwards. On.
We're in!
We're in the hole!
Woohoo!
Can you feel it? Yeah!
Celebration! Ah! Yes.
We're in the hole! You couldn't tell? Holy crap.
It's in. Is this gonna fit under the hood?
Yeah, you gonna be able to close the hood?
Wow. Let's look at this, guys.
I see that.
How tight all of this is. Yeah, that's why we had to move the battery box a little bit. The Demon has been shoehorned in to the engine bay.
And next up, we need to tighten up the exhaust and put the rest of the exhaust in, which is going to require some more heat wrapping on it. And then after that, we'll get the radiator and cooling system mounted up in the front, and that's going to get us really close to finishing off the intake and adding the PCM and first startup.
So far, the exhaust we have routed off of the manifolds and down and to a collector pipe. And so we've got all of these pieces wrapped. Got all these pieces wrapped so far, keeping the heat off, and we've even got heat blankets on the parts that get really close to other components. We've got an axle back exhaust all the way over. It's gonna go over our axles, and we have a nice cut tip that will go on the back and hang out up here and be fairly low clearance. high clearance, and I think we should remove the spare tire
That is true.
guard off of here, since we don't really need that, since we've removed the whole spare tire system, and put a supercharger cooler in its place. So tighten this. There's room for an extra fuel tank under here. We can definitely put a big fuel tank there. We'll just get one of those new Wi-Fi drive shafts I saw at
Wi-Fi
SEMA.
drive shafts. There
Did
you
you see those on Sean's video? Yeah. Just, you know, we don't need fly-by Wi-Fi.
Oh, we've successfully put the logo right side up.
Hey!
And weld in support for it for the drive shaft, and it gives room for the drive shaft when it up and down motion.
So what we're talking about is we've got the drive shaft that goes from the rear diff all the way to our TKs.
Currently, you can see we have the SEMA Bluetooth drive
SEMA
shaft that
special.
everyone's talking about
SEMA
this year.
special.
I think it'll hold up a lot better with the amount of torque we're going to run through it. We just have to dial it up to the newer Bluetooth module.
Bluetooth 4.
Bluetooth 4, maybe the new Bluetooth 5. I don't know, we'll see. But you will save so many U-joints this way. You have no idea.
From the factory, and if you guys watch the disassembly video, we have a 2-piece drive shaft that has a carrier that hangs from
we still have it.
from here. And so you have a straight piece coming off your transfer case to the first bearing, and then down to your differential. But what we're gonna have is a single 1-piece drive
Eventually.
shaft. Yes.
Eventually.
So this is going to be a little later down the road when we do the axles, because we're going to swap these axles out, you guys. We're not keeping factory axles in here. And that
would be insane.
That would be insane. And that is the point when we're going to switch drive shafts to have a custom one made, that it's a single piece, no U-joint in the middle, no carrier bearing, and it will be much stronger to handle the horsepower. It's going to replace all of this, and that's why we can't use the new 1-piece drive shaft with the current axle.
What if we got a hollow one that you could see through, and then we can put tiny balls with numbers on them,
Just like the lottery.
and we could select winners using the drive shaft
We'll put Patreon members' names in the
drive shaft.
and then we'll select winners. So go check out the Patreon link down below if you guys
Would
want.
that be kind of like balancing beads in a tire?
I don't know, man.
They would
I don't
just
think
suck.
that's like anything.
That would just balance while we drive. You wouldn't even need to balance the drive shaft. It's just
So-
as the faster you
so-
go, it's just.
I gotta go. If you guys want to see behind the scenes and my uploads in advance and just additional content that doesn't make it on the channel, go check out my Patreon. There's a link down in the description below. I'm posting on there all the time. Off the cuff videos, behind the scenes, and early uploads. No commercials, no ads, anything like that. Check it out.
That is a hell of a shaft, Mike.
I'm getting
Explains why you're-
shafted.
What of this do you want to keep?
What do we got?
A lot of it's not important. Like, do you like guarantee?
Well, that motor.
I want to get a diesel one and see if I can modify it.
Alright, that's that.
What do you get? Get out of my bed.
We are just adjusting all the clearances for the rad, the intercooler, and all the other coolers so that they all nicely get along in a cohesive family to then get attached to the rad support without any issues. We've done no cutting to the rad support, by the way.
Would you say this is the coolest part of the install?
This is definitely
One of the coolest.
one of the coolest spots.
All right, and we got the rad support bolted back on, and looks like it's ready to drop into the Jeep.
So we've got the big new aluminum radiator on here. That's from the with the AMW kit. Replaces the factory rad, and then we've got our AC condenser, and we've got some coolers on here for the power steering and transmission. You want to say something?
Something.
What are we doing?
Oh, we weren't filming?
No.
Oh. We're gonna work by getting the sector shaft put in, the master cylinder in the ABS module, put back where it goes, clean a bit of that up, and then we'll probably test fit the rad stack a couple times, or we might put in some stuff here first, but we gotta get to the point where we start making all the connections. And once we have connections, we start filling it with fluids.
Woo!
Just like on tip. All good. You don't want to get anything jammed in where your master cylinder goes, or it creates a lot of different weird problems that you won't understand what's going on.
It'll be a non-braking issue.
Sometimes it breaks but just makes noises. Sometimes it... I wonder where that connector went. Is it connected?
So do you have any breaking news updates for us?
Just stop it. Spray stuff.
Right? Oh, really?
The blinker fluid?
Yes, the blinker fluid.
The blinker fluid. Yeah.
Go over here.
So we've got a nice bracket here for our blinker fluid.
Oops, sorry, bud.
But we're pretty tight here.
It seems to be the common trend with this. Is that how big the washer fluid motor is?
Yeah.
Huh.
Have you ever seen one before?
No.
They're like this
obviously.
on like older vehicles. They're not much different.
Never had to replace one of those before.
No?
Do not.
I think this is the wrong relay.
It says Hemi JL on it.
What I got given.
Radiator cooling stack going in.
So, that's what this looks like sitting here. We are days away from being able to hook it up.
Only days?
Only days.
Well, that's better than last week.
Just moments.
We've gone from weeks to days.
Just moments.
So we're getting really close, guys, to the first start. I cannot wait to hear this thing run the first time.
With the oil or without? It makes two different noises.
Without the oil?
It makes a different noise.
Isn't without the oil, it's like a progressive noise?
Yeah, it's
all the way to failure. I am stoked to hear the supercharger whining, the engine rumbling. We got that 3.5-inch MagnaFlow exhaust on there. Just finish it up. Some final plumbing, getting the whole cooling stack set up, installed, and bolted down. And it's first start. A quick change of venue, guys. I had to go back to my house here on Vancouver Island. Epic Adventure Outfitters is over in Vancouver, and there's a ferry between us. And I work a full-time day job in addition to making YouTube videos, and I couldn't hang around at the shop until a part came in that we needed to get the Demonator started, unfortunately. So we're gonna catch up with the Ginger. I left him a GoPro camera, and he is going to record our first startup, and we're gonna go talk to him and the crew at Epic over on FaceTime. So let's go give the Ginger a quick call here, and woo! All right, we'll put this down right here. Hey, widescreen. All right, we'll turn you up.
Hey, come here.
So, do we have a running Jeep?
Yes.
Got the fire extinguisher.
So, Landon, does this thing start?
It runs! Woo! It sure does. Oh. Epic progress.
Very lightly throttle.
Is
Kill it.
Is that all we get?
For the record, you can feel it shaking inside the vehicle while it idles.
Well, yeah, I wanted the massaging seats upgrade.
Oh, it's massaging. All the time.
All the time. Is it that gnarly?
Yes.
Nice. More gnarly than the 392?
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. But
we're gonna take this out in a bit after we've done a couple heat cycles.
Yeah.
And then we have to baby it for a few days, and we'll get a new tune on Monday.
Yeah.
Because this basically, there's a break-in procedure of several tunes. So now that the transmission exists,
always an important.
right up.
So is that what we forgot? The transmission?
Yeah, Mike forgot to put in the transmission. Like Mike.
Look at this professional YouTuber over here. Do you want to show it? Give us a quick view of the engine.
Yes, I can.
The engine bay. We haven't seen the final engine bay yet. Oh, look at that. Oh, just barely fits in there, guys. Look at that. Oh, where's my grill? Do we not get a grill back?
Off for better airflow.
So, hang on, go back to the airbox.
Even comes with a driver.
If anybody out there watching knows how to put a snorkel on this, we need to put a snorkel on the
There's not
Demonator.
a snorkel that'll allow enough airflow.
Exactly, like an 8-inch tube.
8? Yeah, it's gonna need like an 18-inch. I understand. You need to realize what's going on here.
Takes a lot of air to make fire.
Yes, it does. So, alright, we're done with you. We gotta go deal with this.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Talk to you later.
Stay tuned for the next video because I'm going to go check out the Demonator in person. We'll have first drives, reactions, all that fun stuff. I want to shoot a little content driving around stock and see how that goes and bring you guys along with me. Before we take it back to Epic, finish the rest of this build because we're going to put huge axles, big tires, a lift, and all that stuff in me. So smash the subscribe button, leave a like if you're enjoying this series, and I'll see you guys in the next video.